So today I wanted to talk about and give some insight on how we're able to get such a high return for our clients on their ad spend when we advertise to cold traffic. So just to give you some context, I'm just going to use this for this specific example. We finished off a product launch for one of our clients last month, kind of trickling into the start of this month. And I got the numbers on the screen, so I want to be accurate. So we spent $82,452.88 on ads. As a result of those ads, we collected $433,319 in cash. Total sales revenue, which includes the payment plans, we generated $891,939, which means a cash profit of just over $350,000 and a revenue profit of just over $809,000, which means Cash ROAS was 5.26, revenue ROAS was 10.82. So if I do say so myself, and I will humbly say so, that pretty freaking good result, right? Pretty much everyone would be extremely happy with those numbers. But this video isn't just to gloat about how amazing I am at media buying and advertising and marketing and all the stuff that we know to be true. But I want to discuss how we were able to do it, or like what was the biggest factor in us being able to do that. And it actually goes against a lot of the stuff that is taught. So if you've been in the info product online coaching space for a minute, you would have heard like the term, like give your best stuff away for free, or like give value, or, you know, give away the recipe and they'll pay you for the, what is it? Something about recipe and implementation, or pay you to cook. I don't know. I can't remember what the saying was. I thought I remembered what it was. Damn it. Something about if you give them the steps, they'll pay you for the implementation. Basically, like give away all your secrets and they'll just pay you to help them implement it, whether that be in like a coaching capacity or a done for you service capacity. But it's my belief that this is horrible advice for 99% of people. If you're targeting like the top 1% of like entrepreneurs or business owners, let's say, then maybe, because you're going to give them the stuff and they're just not going to have time to implement it. So they're just going to pay you for speed. But not everyone is selling to that type of customer. So that's why I think what we don't do in that particular launch, which I talked about, and obviously like it followed like a fairly typical launch process, right? You run advertisement to an event, you teach them, give them value in the event, and then at the end you make them an offer to join the program. I can't speak today. You make them an offer to join your program and then they join, right? We did that and we made that much money. Now, what we didn't do was that we didn't give them value in the sense of like, we didn't show them what to do, right? We didn't say, hey, do this, this, and this, and this. And this is what a guy called JK from Twitter, JK Molina, shout out JK, he actually did a training on this recently and I watched it. And it was kind of like, he explained what I've been trying to explain in my head, but I just couldn't like communicate it very clearly. So shout out JK, you helped me with this. And he said, you don't want to give value, you want to give insights. Now, that's similar to what I say, where it's like, you don't want to give value, you want to talk about concepts. If you give out value, and value is like, hey, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, right? That's not going to work. If you talk about concepts, you will make a lot of money. So for example, if you were to do like a business training, right? What most people might do if they want to like give your best stuff away for free, that they'll be like, oh, I'm going to give away like video scripts, my funnel templates. They're going to give like sales scripts, DM scripts. And we give like, you just give all of it away. And you think that giving them that stuff is going to impress them enough to be like, oh, wow, this guy's really good. I'm going to pay you. And that's not what happened. So with like our client, they do teach business and like how to get clients from social media. We very rarely talked about, hey, this is our funnel. This is the process. This is the sales call script. We actually just talked about the thought process behind what we do, or the concept behind what we do and why it works so well, versus, hey, this is actually what we do. Because when you give stuff away for free and you like give away everything, you give away the steps that they need to follow, typically there's two types of reactions. Prospect number one says, thanks for the start, like thanks for the value. I'm going to go and implement it. And that's it. And they never pay you. Or even worse, they say, oh, thanks for the information. I'm going to go away and implement it. And when I make money with what you taught me, then I'll come back and pay you for your program. And it's like, fuck off, mate. No, you're not, right? And they never do they? So that's prospect number one. Prospect number two, they will look at what you provide and they'll think that it's a little bit too overwhelming for them to be able to implement. So they never do. And guess what? They don't pay you either. We had this problem a little bit with like a really unsophisticated market when it comes to like online advertising and making money online. And even though like we tried to make it super simple, we outline like sales funnels and the email CRM and kind of like how like a funnel works basically. And what we found was that even though we felt like we were giving them value because this was like this new thing, even though, you know, funnels and stuff have been around for so long, our market still, they still lacked exposure to it for whatever reason. Like they were like, oh, automated email systems, right? It was like new to them. So we thought like presenting it to them for the first time and being like, hey, this is a sales funnel. This is the difference between this and a website. This is why it worked. Like, and explaining like we have the landing page, video page, you know, blah, blah, blah. We mapped it all out. We thought that was going to be like mind blowing for them. And they're going to be like, wow, this is so smart and clever. But we made less money doing that than when we literally didn't mention it like whatsoever. We just talked about the psychology of like, you put out valuable content that resonates with people, they're going to be attracted to you and they're going to buy from you. And it's not giving them value at all. Like we're not walking them through the process, explaining exactly what to do. We're just talking about the overall concept of, you know, the strategy, right? So what I've put is like with insightful content, you sell someone on your strategy without giving away the steps. Meaning they have to pay you if they want to even try and implement what you're talking about. When you give away value, they have the option to pay you because they could try it by themselves. With insightful content, we're selling them on the idea and the concept so it makes sense and they could see why it would work, but we're not giving them the steps so they don't have the option of implementing it by themselves. So this is what we do. This is what I always say. Instead of explaining like exactly what you do and outlining the steps or like how to do it, you just want to think about why your strategy works and what's like the big concept behind it. Usually it comes down to like human psychology as to why, you know, if it's like a client getting strategy, usually it comes down to human psychology. So if you can explain to your customers, and this is what we did with that client, like during that launch process, a lot of it was just insights about why our process worked or why someone would buy from you if you followed our process. But we didn't actually like outline it whatsoever. And you could even say, like, even in this video, I've not give you any steps necessarily on how to create like insightful content or conceptual content. I've just talked around the concept around it and why it's more effective than valuable content. And some of the stuff that I would have said in this video, you might have been like, yeah, that makes sense. That's why like I keep giving out all my scripts and all my templates, and everyone is like thanking me so much and everyone's messaging me being like, I'm the best. But then when it comes to pay, no one pays. And you're like, oh wait, like that strategy makes sense. Let me find out more. And that's when, if I had a program, I don't. That's when I would sell you on my program. So you want to really just, like what I like to do with this sort of stuff is we just sell the prospects on the thought process, but we don't give them the process. Okay? We sell our prospects on our thought process, but we don't give them the process. To get the process, they have to pay us. And that's my philosophy. And I think for, like I said, there are exceptions depending on what type of customer you deal with. But I think for 99% of people, you want to start talking about concepts rather than strategy. And then people will pay you for the strategy. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. See you soon.